Happy birthdays as well. You always find the latest courtyard permanent solution. Out of the box.
Hello and welcome to Radio Waves by Todderbert. If you enjoy reviews, comparisons, band scans of new and classic portable radios, then make sure to subscribe and tap the bell icon so you don't miss any of my most awesome videos. In front of us we have the C.Crane CC Radio Solar, and I'm performing an evening medium wave band scan with it. First we'll go over features, second I'll do a size comparison, third I'll start cruising the evening band. So let's check it out, the C.Crane CC Radio Solar. You can buy these for around $100, I'll have links below. Definitely a premium emergency radio, probably one of the best emergency radios on the market today. Okay, let's look at features. Left hand side we have a nice little flashlight and a lanyard hookup point. As you can see the way they designed this, we have hard plastics covered by a rubber bumper around the entire radio. That's to protect it. It's kind of nice. On the front here, C.Crane, we have a 2-inch speaker that has decent audio. I like it. It's really good audio for emergency radio. Loving it. And as you can see, it's got design elements of the CC Pocket and the CC Skywave single sideband radio. Over here we have tuning controls, up and down, manual tapping, and then you can go seek forward, seek down, and also fast forward and fast down if you press and hold the buttons. Our LCD display displaying a 12-hour clock, battery life indicator. This has an amber backlight that has 3 settings, high, medium, low, and then there's a 4th setting off. So you can actually tune the radio with no backlight. That's kind of nice if you're trying to save power. This radio is all about saving power, making the batteries last much longer. Down here we have the 5 preset buttons, similar to a CC Pocket. And of course, with your 5 preset buttons, you have multiple functions that these buttons can do. When the radio's off, 1 sets the clock, 2 the alarm. I forget what 3 does. I think 4 is setting the frequency to show all the time or clock to show all the time. Oh yeah, 3 is the beep on or off. I remember that, I turned that beep off. And 5 here sets 9K or 10K for the medium wave band. And when you go 9K, it sets the FM band from 87.5 to 108 to 76 to 108. Something to know. Here we have volume control. Nice. Of course, you also have 25 presets per band. It has page modes, and you access it by hitting 3 and 5 simultaneously when the radio's on. And this radio also has a power saving mode. It comes shipped in a low mode, and it sounds rather tinny, and the speaker doesn't sound fantastic. But if you hit 1 and 5, it goes into high power mode, gives you more loudness and better speaker audio. You'll notice that definitely when you're playing music. Not so much for talk radio on the AM band, so I typically leave it on low power mode. Like I said, volume control is reminiscent of the Texan style. I like this. So there we are. And on the right hand side, we have the typical rubber jacket, and we have the little jacks underneath there. Top, we have an auxiliary in. I think that's rather neat. When you plug in an auxiliary device, it automatically goes to high power mode. Keep that in mind. You notice a little micro USB jack next to it. That's to charge the 18650 battery supplied with the radio. And underneath that is a little micro switch to switch from lithium ion operation to AA operation. That's another amazing feature of this radio. Power bank feature, 5 volts, 1 amp output. And then the stereo headphone jack is amazing for FM stereo listening. I love it. Absolutely awesome. Okay, top of the radio, we have the light control. Turns the light on and off, and that glows in the dark. We have band, AM, FM, and NOAA weather. Press and hold this for your alert mode. It gives you 3 choices, 4 hours, 8 hours, or 16 hours. And you can also run alert while the radio is running on FM or AM, so you can have your alert while you're listening to your radio. Over here we have our power sleep function button and a large solar panel. Our antenna, 25-inch, nice. On the back here, we have our dynamo. It's a smaller crank, similar to the Sanjin MMR88, but it works rather nicely. And this really neat feature is this. As you can see, it's got the same kind of battery compartment as the CC Pocket. You gotta kind of push it in to open it up. And then inside you can see a spot for 3 AA batteries. And it ships with a 18650 button top protected cell marked CC Sentinel. It's pretty awesome. And it's a 3400 milliamp hour capacity, which leads me to believe it's one of the nicer Panasonic batteries, just rebadged. That is my guess. Don't quote me on that, but I have a good feeling it's probably a nice cell there. And of course, I believe they sell replacements. I think any protected button top will fit, but if you definitely want to go C.Crane replacements, they do sell them. So there we go. Let's do a size comparison real quick, because I always run out of time for doing evening bands because there's so much on the evening band. You guys know that. So the first size comparison is an obvious one. It is the Sangent MMR88 next to the CC Solar. Now they're pretty similar in size. Weight-wise, this is heavier. It does have a bigger battery. This has a little tiny battery, 18350. This has the 18650. This sells for $50. This sells for $100. People wonder, well, this is a great radio. Why do I need this one? Well, if you're in a medium wave listening and you like high quality, you go with the C.Crane. It's amazing. We're going to get into that. 1 kilohertz tuning, 3 bandwidth filters. Yeah, it's just like a CC Pocket with an extra bit of things going on. And of course, the battery operation is much better. More capacity, longer run times. And there you go. Nice little quick comparison there. Yeah, like in the CC Radio Solar, it is nice. So I might call it Solar Observer because I'm so used to doing that. I haven't had emergency radio from C.Crane in a long time, so bear with me if I do say that. It's not intentional, but so I was simply used to the other. But here we go. See, CC Pocket looks just like the CC Radio Solar. When I first saw the Radio Solar, I was like, hey, it looks like a CC Pocket, but amped up. And I was right. Similar button controls. Yeah, loving that. But that's where it stops. This radio gets even better with its audio and everything else. And its power options. And last but not least, we have a deck of cards here. Iron Man, he's the man with the master plan. He can spin it like no one can. He loves C.Crane radios designed in California land. Sing it with me. Iron Man, he's the man with the master plan. There he is. All right. So let's go ahead and zoom this on down and we'll turn it on. You'll see some more display information. Okay, so top switch here, power. So we have frequency information. We're at 520. There's the band. What page we're on for our presets. There's the battery life indicator. And then there was the, let's see if I can get that to show up again. Our signal strength indicator. So we'll tune to our first station here. Okay, CHLO 530, Brampton, Ontario coming in. I'll bring this up a little bit. 441 miles. They say it's 250 watts. So 1 and 3 are your bandwidths. 4 kilohertz. 6 kilohertz. And 2.5. I'll leave it on 2.5 tonight. Now it's the current time. I forgot to mention the current time. You probably saw it there. It's 10:49 p.m. Central Standard Time, and I'm near Chicago, Illinois. For information. Now I have a passive loop here off the bench. It's a Turk Advantage. I'm going to bring it in just to see if I can make this a better signal. So I'm going to set it perpendicular to the radio's internal ferrite bar antenna for the AM band. And improve that signal. Seem to help it a little bit. Okay, great. So with medium wave or AM listening, most people know, but there are some new viewers. It uses an internal antenna versus that whip antenna. That whip antenna is good for FM and NOAA weather reception, but for AM reception, it uses an internal ferrite bar wrapped with a coil of wire to pick up the longer wavelengths of the AM. And it's also directional. You aim at top of the radio, that's usually where that antenna is, towards the station you're trying to receive. Right now I'm pointing it towards Brampton, Ontario. Over here, we got a different station. Playing music, and I don't know what that is. Maybe I'll look it up and find out. That's a first. Cool. Let's keep going.
Over time, for example, if our fathers or our historians who have studied medical locations had considered including the drawings area.
Wow, this is a good night for listening. This is CBK 540, Watrous, Saskatchewan. This is 1,025 miles away. This is nice. Hopefully be a good night for listening.
To be a neurosurgeon. Why do you want to be a neurosurgeon?
All right, I want to be a pediatric neurosurgeon research because I love.
Excellent. So if I turn it to the north, which is that way, it should pick up a different station.
And why I want to be a neurosurgeon
And that's actually WAUK Jackson, Wisconsin, which is only 70 miles away. And that CBK is overpowering it. That's interesting.
And I want to be able to provide that health to everybody, including out there of my age.
That's excellent. We're never going to get through this band scan. Wow, getting a couple stations, got music. I got KTRS St. Louis here. Alright, we'll keep going.
New pajamas, exclusively from Pajamagram, America's PJ experts.
Pajamagram, alright. 560 WIND Chicago. I'll show you the, this is in low power mode, I believe, right now. We'll go high power mode.
These pajamas is so seductive that you'll both love the feel of them. She'll love the feeling of wearing next to nothing at all, and you'll love the way they look. Check them out at pajamagram.com. Best of all, Pajamagram does the wrapping for you.
So on the AM band, this sounds like a loudness boost, or a volume boost. But when you're playing FM music, it definitely, you get some more fidelity, with more bass tone on the FM music. And AM music, I do notice an improvement.
Order today. Just go to pajamagram.com.
All right. This might be a good night to DX later on, too. Try to go over some clearer stations.
They got to try to work.
Okay, this guy talking here is KCSP, Kansas City, Missouri, 400 miles, 5,000 watts.
So much of this. How are you?
Oh my gosh, starstruck.
Me too. What's up?
620 WTMJ, Milwaukee, Wisconsin, 52 miles away, 10,000 watts.
It's kind of a duh. It's more of an emotional thing. So I'm a nurse.
Country music there is CFCO, Chatham, Ontario, 310 miles, 6,000 watts in that direction. It's interesting that it was still coming in this direction, so wow, this is just an amazing night. Sometimes I'll pick up St. Louis in this direction.
Radio.org.
Okay, so the commercial here, 640, this is WOI, Ames, Iowa, 265 miles to the west, 1,000 watt transmit, and then the Hispanic music I'm just picking up is actually closer, I believe, yeah. WMFN, Peatone, Illinois, which is 75 miles away. There we go. This isn't coming in that great. This is WSM, Nashville, Tennessee, 434 miles. Usually comes in clear. Oh, 660 tonight. That's a bummer.
Tech and Pfizer.
Message and data rates may apply. Do you need a car? Been shopping only to be turned down because of bad credit, low credit?
Okay, here's 670 the score to SCR, Chicago.
Guess what? Today's your lucky day because now you can buy a car, truck, or...
I think in this direction it's CJOB. I'll put pop up here.
Every time you turn around, you take a couple of steps back. The ongoing fundraiser. We also accept donations online at fondationbrjulier.org.
Give.
Or click generously.
CKGM 690 Montreal, Quebec, 763 miles.
Gregoire, Chamonix Nissan is the place to go. We customize your order to get you the car that you want for the best price. Quicker. We're number one. Visit us in person or online at ChamonixNissan.com. CF Montreal fans, membership for the 2022 season are now available, starting at less.
Science. Airborne germs invade through your nose. It's the body's air.
Here's WLW, Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles.
When your nose gets clogged, it's less effective and germs multiply. Eventually,
To do it, how exactly to do it through the pound piece of cord. We agree to this
Here's WOR, New York, New York, 750 miles.
following through on this commitment. We are the Prime Minister's past 20 years.
Suggestions, reminders of things you won't want to miss, and some new things you never even thought about. Wherever you go, make sure
720 WGN, Chicago.
and we'll get you great ideas for weekend fun. After
This radio does have excellent selectivity. Early morning, like 3 in the morning, I can pick up CKDM really clearly. Duffy, Manitoba. At 740 Zoomer radio. We'll turn on high power mode. Nice, 460 miles away. Always a treat.
There are a lot of tree companies out there, but only one in Atlanta that has been in
Here we go. WSB, Atlanta, Georgia. 630 miles.
Heath Tree Service. Whether you need tree removal or tree pruning work done, our certified arborists
assert executive privilege. This is sort of a bipartisan consensus.
760 WJR, Detroit, Michigan. 270 miles.
He's asserting executive privilege that he doesn't get screwed by the guy.
Is it a nice area?
It's a nice area. Yeah, there's like little. It's a little bit like a mini Atlantic City or.
This is coming at nice. WABC, 770, New York City, New York. 750 miles. Now, we can go to 1 kilohertz mode to get away from 780. I'll show you that.
Beautiful little places there, but I'm telling you, they would not suddenly like. I would say like 1/4 of a busload, things would be fixed in a minute because people will go, wait a minute, what's going on here? You know, it's a very quiet town.
So you're telling me there would be no Westchester County?
Yeah, there would be. Yes, I don't think they would put up with that. And you know, it's just like I hate these rules. Like it reminds
So you can
me
fine tune
so
to get
much
away
of,
from an offending
Tory
station.
Bush, you know, the congresswoman who, when she was asked
Back
about
10.
defunding the police, she said, "Oh,
Simultaneously
no, I need
pressing
police.
1 and 4 to do that.
I need police because I'm different. I'm special than the average person." It's like, you know, it's like the same thing of like, oh no, I'm.
At any time from the Fifth Third Bank Studios. Fifth Third means business.
WBBM.
This is Chicago's all-news station. News Radio 780 and 105.9 FM. WBBM.
Coming up in the next half hour.
Chicago News Radio.
There's Tennessee, a disaster area.
Is that the kind of government anybody wants nationally? I have serious doubts. So Democrats have a choice. They can
WGY, Albany, New York, 740 miles.
into a joke, or they can abandon that stuff.
President Biden has added Tennessee to the list of states getting emergency aid following a
Here's WCCO, 830, Minneapolis, Minnesota, 310 miles.
74 deaths have now been confirmed.
Emergency declaration for Tennessee as a result of the deadly tornadoes that swept through the region.
Here's WHAS, Louisville, Kentucky. Ground Zero is usually on, and coast to coast in the evenings.
That's where Congressman James Comer told ABC.
A normal tornado is about a football field in width. This one is 3 miles wide in spots, and it just unfortunately went through all the populated areas of...
was without precedent. There has been no stronger case in our nation's history for a congressional investigation.
So here's KOA, News Radio, Denver, Colorado, 890 miles to my west.
Contempt referral, they would determine if Meadows will face prosecution or not.
That's ABC's M. Wynn. Delays and back orders forcing shoppers off their computers.
to Canada.
Des mots attendus depuis longtemps par les victimes d'agressions et d'inconduite sexuelle au sein
CJBC, Toronto, Ontario.
La ministre de la Défense a présenté les excuses du gouvernement admettant
The panel. Meadows tells Fox News he's not surprised. This is about Donald Trump.
Here's WWL, New Orleans, Louisiana, 865 miles to my south.
Several Fox News anchors, even Donald Trump Jr., were trying to get Meadows to push Mr. Trump into trying to...
They're believed to be the first service members to be removed for disobeying the military's mandate. Thousands of others have gotten exemptions. And New York is cracking down on kids. CBS's Naomi Rockin explains.
Beginning Tuesday,
Here's WCBS New York, New York, 750 miles.
must have proof of vaccination in restaurants, fitness.
That goes through January 15th. COVID-19 infections in the state.
Here's 890 WLS Chicago, high-pitch whine coming from the camera.
7 NFL players tested positive for the virus, the most in a single day. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken in Southeast Asia criticizing China.
So I could tune back a little bit to get away from the offending noise.
Claiming open seas as their own. Distorting open markets through subsidies to its state-run companies. Denying the exports or revoking deals for countries whose policies it does not agree with. Engaging in illegal unreported.
The highly contagious variant is circulating in Ontario.
Here's Hamilton, Ontario, 430 miles. This is CHML. Going a little quicker.
Yes, headlines from Monday and this week. Officials say you should send your public greetings and packages out now if you want to make sure they reach their destination.
I guess it's local WFAW, where that gets in Wisconsin.
Federal sex trafficking trial of the woman. And so there's a lot to talk about.
Neighbors united in grief huddled together in a large mountain of debris, looking for reminders of the loved ones they lost.
Here's CBW, Winnipeg, Manitoba, 675 miles.
With the Rams, LA goes in front with 12:53 to go.
Here's WMVP, Chicago.
Their advantage with an extra point pending. Odell Beckham Jr. on the left side.
Near you.
Lockheed Martin understands what it takes to accomplish critical missions around the globe.
KDKA, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania, 450 miles.
Rooted in expertise, interoperability, and trust.
Their family put food on the table. You can help change their future in a single moment. See how far your support can go at unbound.org. Clear sky, 46 degrees. Steve Perez, WBZ, traffic on the 3.
Here's the 4-day WBZ AccuWeather forecast.
We'll have a mostly clear sky overnight. It's not going to be all that cold.
So Boston, Massachusetts, 880 miles, WBZ.
Still fairly mild for mid-December. We'll have
stewardship that began last winter. It's also when you re-enter the decision-making season for next year.
WHO, 1040, Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles.
Real estate services. As we approach and eventually conclude.
Showers are possible at night. We'll see daytime highs up to 63. Friday, turning mostly cloudy, showers in the evening. Temperatures still above average, up to 58. Saturday, rounds of rain expected. Daytime highs up to 55. I'm NBC 10 First Alert meteorologist Brittany Shook.
We have a few clouds, 40 degrees, headed down to 36 overnight. The post-Thanksgiving surge of COVID cases in New Jersey continues.
KYW, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 700 miles.
Hospitalizations are up.
Just waiting for call letters. Sounds like country music on 1070. Not sure.
Command the season with convenient locations.
Audio sounding good. WTAM, 1100, Cleveland, Ohio, 345 miles.
SUV, only at GetMoreCheddar.com.
Your local utility companies to come out and mark any lines they have near your dig site.
KFAB, Omaha, Nebraska, 405 miles.
Signing a bill Monday making it no longer illegal to possess a small amount of pot and paraphernalia.
KMOX, St. Louis, Missouri, 275 miles.
And then increasing clouds on Tuesday, high into the 60s and
schedule an in-person or virtual appointment today.
This program has been pre-recorded.
WRVA, Richmond, Virginia, 665 miles.
And I will raise him up on the last day. It is written in the promise.
Local, WYLL, Chicago, Hope for Your Life.
Everyone who has heard right here in the United States.
are fairly regular contributors to the nation. We have suffered from all our married life of 20 years.
I think we're picking up Brother Stare on AM band.
We are currently concerned about our two sons, but mostly the oldest.
Yeah, we are.
Who will be 19 this January. He still does not have a driver's license and we cannot afford.
No, didn't know he was around still. Okay, this is Wham, 1180, Rochester, New York, 545 miles. WPHT, Philadelphia, Pennsylvania, 700 miles. Okay, now I'm going to go a little quicker up the band.
Since 1961, John F.
They, of course, have the ability to speak out, too. I don't know if they will. I suspect at some point.
CIWW, Ottawa, Ontario, 660 miles. Ottawa. Did I say that right? Okay, probably not.
I honestly don't understand how this guy, Barack Ravid, I mean...
Keep going. Ottawa. It's like, you ever have those moments where your brain just like, yeah. Yeah, it definitely fizzled out there. I had it misspelled. That's hilarious.
Right, I mean, the decade plus, right, coming into the league, going back.
So there's a lot to find in these bands. It's gotta take a lot of time. WSPD, Toledo, Ohio, 250 miles. Okay, I'm gonna go up quicker. Sensitive radio is picking up everything. It's great.
Listen online or on your smartphone with iHeartRadio.
Here's WLAC, Nashville, Tennessee, 434 miles.
You're listening to Coast AM. Connie Willis here. How are you?
How about the women? Kamala Harris is very worried about the women. She said...
KOKC, Oklahoma City, Oklahoma, 690 miles.
The women are going to die. In the San Francisco Chronicle.
Any other legendary, not Marvin Harrison, go on down the list of any legendary...
WCKY, Cincinnati, Ohio, 300 miles.
Wide receiver. The first player in NFL history.
That balance. I don't think the current administration is all that balanced.
KXEL, Waterloo, Iowa, 210 miles.
Back open and said, listen, this is not health versus the economy. It is.
I think this is CKDO, Oshawa, Ontario, 490 miles.
Announce anything about it. And of course, and I let him get inside. Open Cup is in that club.
Coming nice. Clear, CHHA, Toronto, Ontario.
It's in stride, man.
The mighty KCJJ, Iowa City, Iowa, 175 miles to my west, 1,000 watts.
Another option. Ben Jefferson's been fantastic. Another option. Ben Jefferson's been fantastic.
The Zone, Madison, Wisconsin, WOZN. WPRR, Grand Rapids, Michigan, 140 miles.
With 3 sacks. This
was out to call.
KBGG, Des Moines, Iowa, 280 miles. And the music in the background there is KKLF, Richardson, Texas, which is 790 miles.
That's it. The Rams have won. And Aaron Donald with this.
Okay, we're done, but let me show you the soft power off.
I feel like Aaron Donald.
There you go. It's soft power off. I love that. So there it is. The CC Radio Solar by C.Crane. Loving this radio. AM band is awesome in the evening. Yeah, absolutely perfect. Actually, you know what I want to do? I want a page function. See if Nashville. Okay, there's WSM coming in better. See, try 660.
They also brought in AJ Green. They were also able to bring in James Conner.
So there's WFAN that I wasn't able to get earlier. So yeah, if you just wait a little bit, stations do improve on medium wave. They're, depending on how the evening goes. I knew it was a good evening. It's going to be even get better later on, I'm sure. So there it is. CC Radio Solar, amazing premium emergency radio. Definitely worth every penny. I am absolutely loving this radio. Yeah, just has so much to offer. But the medium wave band, expect fun times with the bandwidth controls and the 1 kHz tuning. It just makes it so much better. And then evenings doesn't even need help with that passive loop, as you noticed. There's so much coming in. During the day, you'll notice distant stations need a little boost with the passive loop, but otherwise distant stations during the day also come in rather well. So there it is. I hope you give me a big like for this video. Hope you liked it. 2, if you like C.Crane radios, you want to see more, hit subscribe and hit the bell icon. Get notified of future comparisons, reviews, band scans, all the fun associated with C.Crane. And 3, comment below what you think about the C.Crane CC Radio Solar. Would you get this one, or would you still be in the market for the old Sangen MMR 88, knowing that there might be a better option for you, but at twice the cost? I'm kind of curious to what you guys think. All right, well, there it is. I appreciate you watching. Take care, and we'll see you in my next video.